It is time, the How to Speak Australian, brought to you by Kangaroo and Kiwi. Last week I did a little bit of trivia. This week I'm going to educate you, and this is how it goes, right? So I'm going to educate you about Mad Monday. Now, if you're sitting here thinking, what does he mean by Mad Monday? I'm about to tell you. So the Mariners, they got beaten Game 7. They had that long flight back from the East Coast. In Australia, they call it Mad Monday when a team, whether you win the grand final, like especially in rugby, right? So if it's cricket too, but especially rugby league, the grand final is usually on a Sunday, just like the NFL here. But even if you get beaten early on, like let's say you get into the playoffs or a regular season, you play on that Sunday, and the minute your season's over, it's called Mad Monday. So basically what it is you get done with the season, you're upset if you lost, or you're celebrating if you won. It doesn't matter either way. And you basically have a little bit of, have a couple brown Gatorades, have some celebrations that Sunday afternoon, and then it carries on into Mad Monday. Now, this is a tradition. Some people don't like it because it always makes the news, these crazy rugby players getting up to all kinds of mischief on their big celebration or season-ending party. The problem is with Mad Monday, then is all of a sudden, now, these days, in the last couple of decades, has stretched on into the week. So I don't know how you celebrated your Mad Monday after the Mariners lost. I know a lot of you were drowning your sorrows, maybe drinking some big dumper beers brought to you by Scuttlebutt as well. But Mad Monday, it gets absolutely nuts. They make all the young, the rookies do crazy stuff, and they just go completely Aussie style, over the top. Anyone who goes to the Kangaroo and Kiwi, when you walk in there and you're talking to some of the Aussies or the Kiwis inside that pub, you can ask them, hey, have you ever celebrated a Mad Monday? You'll probably be sitting there hearing some absolutely epic, probably not appropriate stories for your afternoon while you're enjoying a beer. But Mad Monday, it's a tradition in Australia, and I'm bringing up Mad Monday on this edition of How to Speak Australian because, of course, the Mariners have now been eliminated from the playoffs and be watching the World Series. But it's been massive, man. It's been I know they're not in the World Series, but it has been a really successful year. And Jeff Passan said this the other day on 710. It's just the start. It really is, for a lot of reasons we got into in the last segment. But that's it for How to Speak Australian, brought to you by the Kangaroo and Kiwi. And that's it for this show. If you haven't already, throughout the off-season, I'm going to jump on here at the Top Step TV over on YouTube as we get ready. I've got some big news coming in for 2026 for the show. I cannot wait to share with you guys. But it's been a fun season. It's been a really heart-breaking, gut-wrenching way to finish, as we talked about. But I'm excited for 2026. I cannot wait for the 2026 Mariners and see how they look, how this team shapes up as we get into the winter and everything that's going on. But look after yourselves. Follow us on social media. Subscribe over at YouTube, and we'll see you very soon.